Hello everyone, welcome to the third game of Rewriters of History. I'm so glad to have you all here tonight. I think we are going to resolve this mystery tonight, so let's get started. As we had ended the last game, you were all, except Max's character, leaving the house of Michelle Wozniak, the nurse, and going back towards your hotel. What are your characters going to do after that very weird and sinister encounter?
So there are two things that we find out. It was that she nurtured as a son the doctor from Harvard Avenue.
Yeah, in the morgue.
Yeah, the morgue. So we can go to hotel and rest, or we can try to sneak and peek during the night.
Can I understand what was the big deal with the little statue and why we were kicked off?
What statue? The dog head?
Yeah, as long as you start talking about it, it went bad.
Yeah, because that is a symbol, as I understand, of the living cult. And she noticed that I'm using verse. So she recognized that and she immediately turned hostile, as I remember. And shushed us out of the house. Yeah, we also saw some kind of a cold basement-like room that we could not enter. We were unfortunate with the dice rolls. We at least know the connection of her, the living cult, and the doctor. So there are some sinister things are going on probably there. We can, sneak and try to look out for the morgue or doctor office or that area.
Okay, so everyone meets up at noon for your usual recap meeting of what's been happening, and you are all in your hotel rooms together at this time.
So that was strange.
Yeah.
First time I see somebody recognize the virtues. My idea is to check out the doctor office in the Harvard Avenue and see if we can find anything there regarding the murders.
I think that's a good idea. Wouldn't hurt.
Yeah.
If you don't want us or him to know that we're investigating his office, I can enter looking like someone completely different.
Oh, that's handy.
Yeah.
Can you repeat? I didn't understand.
One of my verses changes what I look like.
Ah,
So if we want to do it somewhat sneakily, I can enter without him knowing it's one of us that he met at the crime scene.
just before we do that, I think it would be a good idea to just summarize what are the clues and everything we have so we know where we are going.
Nothing especially that points out really to the doctor, but everything's is circling around that place. And
There actually is something pointing to the doctor. The nurse you talked to said the doctor was somewhat of an adopted son to her.
Yeah.
And the regimental banner she was in, it was seen by the maid that Eric met in secret when she escaped from the cellar, which was on Harvard Street, which is also where the doctor's office is.
Yeah.
Edward Sweeney is also a military person. Wrong banner for Edward Sweeney, but it is not inconceivable that Edward Sweeney would have one of the banners from the nurse who is basically his mother.
True.
At least that's my line of thinking.
Do we have anything concrete to give to the detective or not yet?
Not at the moment.
What about
so-
we do some surveillance on him? I could follow him discreetly and see if we can learn something. Maybe we could grab something relevant.
Let's find out a few things. Let's find out how many people are working in that office. Is he working alone, or there is some, helper or employee, or he has a boss or something like
kind
that?
of co-workers or...
That can, or you can do that too. While disguised, you can go check it out like regular patient or something like that. Mr. Elliot, you can follow him discreetly. I would like to do that soil sample to see if that courtyard is matched for all the cases. And Philip, I don't know. You have any idea?
Well, I should go with somebody, especially if anybody's going to do something particularly dangerous, but I think right now is mostly investigating.
Can you be discreet?
Kind of.
No?
Kind of.
Kind of? Well,
Kind of.
you can come with me to follow Mr. Sweeney?
Yeah.
Is any one of us good with picklocking or that naughty kind of things like?
I believe I am.
Yes.
Ooh.
That would be intrusion, right?
Yes, you are the intrusion master.
I'm very good at picking locks.
I don't want to steal anything. I just maybe there will be a chance for us to sneak out in the office if there is anything suspicious during the night, so we can check it out peacefully without disturbing anybody. Yeah, let's then split and hope nobody gets in trouble.
The evil GM laugh.
All of you are headed towards Harvard Avenue, except Stefan. Stefan, you're
I will go
running
to the police station to that laboratory to check this last sample that I have from the Madame courtyard.
Okay, you're going there. Make a chemistry check as you work with Joseph's equipment in order to make sure the soil sample matches or does not match.
Chemistry. I have
Science.
it as a domain, yes, science. Ooh, nice.
Nice. You successfully proved that none of the samples match the mud you have found in the nurse's garden.
So they were not drugged there and they were not visiting the courtyard. Okay. Negative answer is still an answer. So, yeah.
Sure.
Next up, the rest of you are heading towards Harvard Avenue to have a look at Edward Sweeney's office. You arrive to find a couple of patients waiting outside, looking disgruntled and frustrated because they had appointments and the place is closed.
There's no staff, only patient outside?
Exactly.
I'm gonna ask around at what time was appointment and what's the last time they saw the doctor?
One of the people waiting outside, it's this old lady. When you start asking around, she says, "Oh, well, I was in the middle of getting my arm checked because it hurts really bad. And suddenly a woman came in and talked to the doctor, and he said he'd be back, and he left in quite a hurry. And they haven't been back since. It's been..."
Can you describe us the woman?
Oh, yes. She was very tall, and she had grey hair and a very stern look. And the description matches that of the nurse that you were talking to earlier.
Michelle.
Michelle Wozniak.
Okay.
At what time it was, miss?
Oh, that was just 15 minutes ago. That's why I'm still waiting. But with all of these patients, I think maybe I'll go and see another doctor.
Can I just say, Simon, I love your old lady voice. It's so great.
Thanks. At least I can do one good voice.
Oh, I feel that. Yeah, no, it's so good. I love it.
Did you hear where she was going with the doctor?
They talked a bit in hushed voices. They seemed a bit alarmed. Maybe it was an emergency. I think somebody must have been hurt and they needed a doctor.
Can you point us the direction they leave?
Oh, yes. She points towards the stairwell out of the office.
I'm gonna try with the other patient to see if they saw where the doctor and the nurse went.
You find out that they were heading west along Harvard Avenue, but the patients didn't see them beyond what you can see from the doctor's office.
In this direction, what could be relevant regarding the information we have so far?
Bakery, butchery, the nurse's house is also in this direction, and that's all in regards to places you've visited.
Did we arrive from that direction?
You arrived from the south and then from the west, because your hotel is south of here.
So which way is north on this map?
Up.
we should try to figure out where they went by investigating and working around, I guess.
As you are talking, more and more of the patients are finally deciding that they've waited long enough, and they follow the old lady who is leaving to the exit, leaving the doctor's office door completely unguarded.
They all left. All right. I'm going to say I become which I desire, and my face and body is just going to mold into something different.
When you cast this spell, you have a sort of weird sensation going throughout all of your skin that starts in your fingers and around your mouth. And basically, it's like when you regenerate, your body is changed by the magic inside of you. And the more it spreads, the more you can feel your bone structure changing, your skin becoming different. And once you're done casting this verse, your face and your skin just doesn't feel like it fits anymore. It feels stretched in places where it wasn't and loose in other places where it wasn't either. You keep your general shape and skin tone and general appearance, but you still looking different. Okay, so what do you look like now?
Maybe a little pudgier, a broken nose, black eyes, just like the weird, you got too much pupil eyes.
Me, though.
I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. It's just funny because I thought it was just a me thing. It's a thing that's always happened, and everybody's like, "Are you high?" I'm like, "No, my pupils are just really large."
Just unrecognizable.
Okay.
And then I'm going to see if the doctor's door is open.
It is locked. Okay, that is a brilliant success. You pick the locks and open the door, and you are now inside of the deserted doctor's office.
I don't know who's better to watch, but someone should watch for the doctor.
What was the skill that's in question right now?
If you are going to be the vigil that stands guard outside, you're going to need to roll a vigilance check, and everyone else who goes inside and who looks for things can roll for search or can do some other rolls depending on what you find.
Yeah, I can stand guard.
Go ahead and make the vigilance roll at -3.
Ooh. I'm pretty muscly, so at least if trouble comes, I can hopefully keep them at bay.
You're good at searching, right, Eric?
Yes.
I'll gesture you inside the room.
Any difficulty for the search, Small?
No. So, you find a lot of things that you'd normally find in a normal doctor's office. After shifting through a lot of the drawers, you find that there are a lot of paper documents that might hide a clue, but you don't necessarily have the time to look through them right now. But you do find one thing that is very out of place here. It is a sort of metal pipe, a chute, that is to say, that goes from one of the windows of the clinic directly to the huge garbage bin that is in the side street below. And on the other side of that street is the morgue.
How big is the pipe? How wide?
It's wide enough that one of you could slip through it and land in the pile of trash at the bottom.
It's all we find?
That and the paper documents.
By just reading it quickly, what's on it?
It's a lot of medical information about different patients. It's records of how much medication is in the cabinets and things like that. If you want to, you can take them and make a documentation check to try to find if there are any clues in there, but as of right now, they just seem like
normal medical documents.
Exactly.
How long have we been searching for?
It has been 5 minutes.
All right, I'll say we've been in here too long and gesture you back out the door.
As you start to head towards the door, Philip, who was supposed to stand guard, has failed to hear the arrival of footsteps up to the clinic. And you are suddenly standing in the doorway of the clinic that you broke into, surrounded by 3 police officers, at the head of which is Joseph.
Good job, Philip.
I'm a great asset to the team, y'all.
Dr. Joseph Conley looks at all of you and says exactly where she said you'd be. All right, you're all under arrest.
Oh no. Oh no, guys.
Gonna raise my hand.
I'm going to step outside and say, is there a problem, officers?
Joseph says, you're all suspect in the murders perpetrated by the torso murderer of Kingsbury Run. Please come quietly with us.
What murderers are these? I was just hired to, let's call it, gain entry into this office.
That is an illegal activity, sir.
No, I'm a locksmith. It's my job. They said they own this building.
All right, well, come to the station with us and we'll check all of this once we're there. And he has started handcuffing Eric, and he is moving on to Philip.
As they anchor me, I'm just gonna say, damn, I have a revolver in my pocket.
Okay, they take your revolver from you. Philip, do you let them handcuff you?
Yeah. If I fight them now, it'll just make them more suspicious.
And Oliver?
Yep.
Okay.
I'm guessing I could probably get out of these handcuffs, so I'm fine with this.
That's true. Sneaky man.
Yeah, you have so much intrusion you can get out of anywhere. In the meantime, Stefan, you were just done doing your chemistry test at the police station when a couple of police officers ask you to come with them to the cell blocks, and they want to lock you up.
Well, what's the meaning of this?
You are a suspect in the torso murders.
What is the evidence of that? I require some explanation.
Come with us. You'll get your explanation once you're in your...
Once you're in your jumpsuit. Okay. Well, I will leave the things I was doing. Come quietly, yeah.
This description is for all of you. The back of the police station smells of sweat and urine.
Oh.
It's not me. I'm all, but it's not me.
Cells are lined on each side of the corridor you're taken through, very few of which are full. In fact, there are no prisoners here today except for you and Francisco Dolce, the journalist, who looks even more injured than the last time you saw him.
Oh no!
As you're being placed into cells, Elliot Ness makes an entrance. He thanks Joseph and he comes towards you. Impeding an investigation, impersonating private investigators, and now trespassing. I'm starting to think you're not on my side, gentlemen. I was suspicious when you managed to convince me that you are a professor without showing me any documents. What did you do? Did you hypnotize me?
We were using all the methods you policemen are using. We were just trying to help.
Your soil sample things, huh? I've never heard of this being used before. And when I asked you to prove to me that you were a professor, you just convinced me somehow. I don't understand what happened. Yeah, I remember you saying something weird, and then
You believe me?
knew. That is...
Do you want to try it again?
That made me very suspicious, so I had some of my men look out for you, and in the process, I found out that O'Bonnell had not reported your fake private investigator card, Mr. Eric. And when I remembered where I first met you, I just had a horrible doubt that you were in fact the torso murderers. You're very lucky O'Bonnell found him today, otherwise you'd be in much bigger trouble. Tell me the truth now, and I can maybe talk to the judge to make your prison time short. Who are you?
You want the truth?
I guess it's time to tell him.
Well, my dear young detective, this case is much harder than you suppose it is. You see, we suspect that there is whole cabal or a group of people involved in this. It is not just the doings of some kind of serial killer. We think those murders has some dark occult purpose. So we were trying to keep everything under the rug and very, very secret. So excuse me if that might raise any kind of suspicious in your mind, but we were just trying to stay away from prying eyes. Well, it seems that brought us into this mess, but I urge you and ask you nicely to find the strength to believe us once more. We are really here just to help. All the places we were intruding, as you said, were the places where we suspected to find some kind of evidence.
Evidence? We can't use any of the evidence you collected. Your private investigator papers are invalid, and you're not deputized. You could have found the murderer red-handed, and we couldn't have used any of the clues that led you there to convict him. What was your plan? To murder the killer?
We were just trying evidence to bring it to justice. We should not do anything before we firstly consult with you with the proper evidence, concrete evidence. We were just searching for those. I know we need to go proper ways, but believe me, I think we are dealing with people that have much power to go beyond the law and beyond the reason even. So we were just looking for a way to cross their paths and find any kind of evidence that we can use. We haven't slightest intention to anything violent or against the law before we show you the evidence that we found. But we're just scraping the surface at the moment. We still need to find the right evidence.
Right now, you're in jail.
Yeah.
You're not going to go anywhere, and I don't have any reasons to trust you about this whole occult cabal thing. You're gonna have to give me some more than what you've already told me.
Detective? Why am I in this predicament?
Yeah, who is this guy? I never saw him.
Well, my men were told to arrest your group after a citizen warned us you might try to intrude either in her house or in the place where you were found. And they were given the description of Joe Bill, who was with the rest of this group at the time when we found them first. You matched the description, but you're obviously not the same person. But I still need to check your story. Apparently you were also trespassing inside of someone's workplace illegally.
Well, I had no idea it was illegal.
How many policemen are in the room?
Right now there's just Elliot Ness, and in the cell opposite of you,
Is the
Francisco
journalist.
Dosa. Yeah.
Well, if it's only him inside with us, I will say a little bit irritated, but I'm rarely in that mood. Look, young man, if we want to be elsewhere, we can be elsewhere. We are just allowing you to keep us in here. And I will murmur some words into my beard, and I will just step out of the bars in the corridor with him.
You know, as one does.
As one does.
You said something very quiet that nobody else heard because you were whispering, and then suddenly inside of this prison block you started hearing the hooves of an army of horses charging, and when the sound reached its climax, Stefan disappeared from where he was standing and reappeared right behind Elliot Ness, just simply teleporting in an instant as the sound of horse hooves disappear.
And I will say, you see, these material things you call a prison cannot hold us. So if we want to be anywhere else, we will be.
For the record, my character look confused now.
And I will say, look, with all this power we have, we only want to help, and we are still on your side. Believe me, we are against people that can use these powers in much more menacing and evil ways. So please believe me. I will not make a trick to make you believe us. It is all I can show you now. Do what you will.
He seems extremely shocked at what just happened, and he's looking you up and down, and he moves his hand towards the cell bars, and he tries to push them open, and he realizes that the cell door wasn't opened, and his hands are shaking a bit.
I will try to look then again as kind as I can get as the old professor. Like I will put my brows down and say, we're not trying to hurt you, we're trying to help you. And we don't have any evil intentions, believe us.
How did you do that?
There's a lot of things that people don't know and they are blind to their beliefs. And we are only here to spread the knowledge and the light. So we must stop the murderers. And I'm 100% sure we are not the ones that are murdering people.
Yes, I believe you in that regard, Elliot Neff says, and he points towards Francisco Dosa and he says, we caught him. It's him.
Francisco?
What?
That's strange. What evidence do you have against him?
We have found evidence, well, Obono has found evidence that Francisco Dosa knew 2 of the 3 victims that were identified, and he doesn't have alibis for any of the times the murders were committed.
You said earlier it was possible to see if someone was being affected by a spell, right? Or a verse or something with clairvoyance, I want to say?
Yes, with clairvoyance. Perceiving the presence of the effects of a verse is at -6. If you're looking for it, if it's a passive roll, it's at -9.
There's no way I can succeed if there's a penalty.
If you roll a 12, then you can re-roll after that.
All right, I'm actually going to look for it. Well, it wasn't a 6 or a 12.
Yeah.
I think with a roll this bad, what happens is that you start concentrating on perceiving clairvoyance just as the sun is hitting the horizon and the regeneration of dark karma happens. And so you have this moment when you concentrate on your senses and you can see this wave of dark karma brought to you by the cycle of the sun and the moon that is rushing towards you. And as soon as you start regenerating karma, you have this massive headache because you can perceive the abundance of karma with your senses. And it's like looking at the sun straight with your eyes for a long time. And you have a headache now. It is now dusk. You all regenerate your Archon karma.
Oh, nice.
Good, so I still don't look like me. That would be unfortunate.
How does Francisco Dolce look like? Is he like...
He's more beaten up than before. He is sitting on his bunk bed in the cell and facing towards you, but he hasn't moved since you've arrived, and you can tell one of his eyes is open, but you're not sure if he is conscious at all.
Can I roll medicine to see that?
Yeah, go ahead.
Really high.
Oh, nice. He is unconscious at the moment, but you can tell that his injuries aren't life-threatening.
Okay. Well, Mr. Elliot, I'm not sure how, if one knows somebody makes him a murderer. He was also interested in a case, so he might know the victims from before, or maybe that was the case why he was interested at all. Maybe his friends or acquaintances were killed.
It's possible, but we're going to investigate him and we're going to find everything we can to try and convict him.
I see. Can you let me back in? We can wait a few hours for you to sort out the papers.
Yes. Hold on. I need to go and get the keys to put you back in your cell.
I will wait patiently. I don't have any more karma to get back here. Well, I just want to show him that we are very willing to cooperate.
When he places you back into your cell, he says, I appreciate that you're staying here and just giving me time to process this. Don't go anywhere. But I can see that there's more to this case and more to the world than I thought there was. Just, I need some time to think about this.
I'm glad that you have your mind open there, willing to think about it. We appreciate it.
He leaves you. Hi everyone, and thank you for watching this video. If you want to be a part of this story, we are currently looking for more players and game masters to play new games in this setting and on this channel. You can also be a part of the story by having your face added to the cast of characters. I draw all of the images for this game, and you can commission me to make you into an NPC. If you like the style and you want a drawing like that of yourself, or if you want to contribute to the project, you can contact me through the links in the description. Finally, if you want to keep up with all of the adventures on this channel, don't forget to subscribe and click the bell button so you can get a notification each time we upload the next episode of this story. And it would be very nice of you to like and share the video to help this channel grow. Have a nice day, everyone.